Welcome, Cosplayholics, to the first episode of Cosplay Cafe in the new year. Cosplay Cafe is a part of the Cereal Box Network, and we have a great episode for you to kick off this new year. I hope your 2023 is going well so far. But first, before we bring in our guests, I'm going to roll our credits. Let's see if well, for right now, I'm the only host of the show. Andrea may pop in later. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe clap your hands if you do believe in fairies. And for now, I am serving up a steaming hot cup of cosplay. And I'm going to bring in our guest, Eli Ramos. Eli is super talented. He is an amazing Batman. He's an incredible artist. He has a big heart for charity. So we're going to talk about that, which is awesome because that's a great theme for this month. We'll talk about that later. So welcome, Eli.
Hi, everyone. I am Batman. How you doing?
Are the night.
I am vengeance. I am Batman. Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy.
We miss Kevin.
Yeah.
And that is how we met. We met on a Kevin Conroy tribute panel, and so it's fitting that we're doing a Batman-themed episode. So thank you.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that you asked me to be on your show. I appreciate it. Got me in the suit again, and special occasions.
Yes, that is a great suit.
Thank you.
And we have David McDonald says we're clapping. We're clapping for Andrea because we do believe in fairies. And Andrea basically is a fairy. She's magical. Nice. I'm hoping you'll get to meet her.
I hope so.
Now let's talk about you. So let's talk about how you got into cosplay.
Wow. So I'm thinking. It's funny. My brother Matthew. He's also a first responder. He's a police officer, teacher, now a dad. I got a little nephew, little Finny. Matthew and his wife Tiffany. They used to get before they were husband and wife. They used to get dressed up. So one of the first cosplays I remember them doing was, I believe, Deadpool and Rogue. And I used to go with them. Yeah, we used to go to New York Comic Con together, the three of us. I was at third wheel. So we used to go together. And I remember watching them and taking pictures and all that. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is awesome. And then one year, 2011, I became a fireman. Now, money's tight for everybody, even back then. So I remember I just got hired. I was working a job at the airport at the time as well. And I'm looking on Amazon and my brother's like, yeah, you should do this Batman costume. And my brother's like, Matthew could charm the devil. He's that type of personality. He's great. Like he should be president one day. Yeah, Matt, you should be. Or at least Quinn might be. But anyway, long story short, he talked me into getting that costume. And I ended up I kept taking different pieces of the costume, making my own stuff. The costume lasted me quite a bit. Retired it a couple years ago, and yeah, it was thanks to those two. And there's even a picture that floats here and there of me and him on the train. Me and Matt. Matt was Deadpool, and at the time he was thin enough. Now he's bulk. He looks like Venom. He's huge, but at the time he was thin enough to fit in spandex. I look like spandex. I look like trying to fit a gorilla in a jumpsuit. So I don't know if that'll really work. But yeah, it was thanks to them. Yeah, got to give props and props is due.
I love it. Oh, we're getting a little bit trolled here on Twitch. Spider-Man. This guy keeps saying Spider-Man. Say hello. I think I'm Spider-Man. So yes, that's my secret. I am Spider-Man.
Yeah. If I had the body, I would probably. You know what? I can be Spider-Verse Spider-Man. I thought about that.
Peter B. Parker. I love Peter B. Parker. Okay.
I thought about that. I was like, you know what? I love that movie. I think we talked about it, or I talked about it on another podcast. But yeah, that's my favorite movie. And like I could do it, 40-year-old, he's got a little shape to him, So yeah. Or go in with sweatpants, even better. He just gave me an idea, Thanks. I think I'm gonna do it. And my face is covered, so there you go.
You should do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Thank you, brother.
Yes, that's what they are.
Then I'll get my nephew to play Miles.
Yes, that is one of the world's most perfect superhero movies, and it's one of my favorite movies. Period. So
same here. Batman agrees.
Batman approved. Yeah, you know what? We can love both DC and Marvel in the cafe.
I love it all. It's like I tell people, hating one and loving the other is like, do you just watch one channel of TV? Do you listen to only one type of music? Because comic books are different.
Yes.
So it's like, it's not sports, people. Okay, even sports, you could love two football teams. I don't think too many people do it, but you could. But I think it's that sport mentality. It's either the Jets or the Giants, or, I'm surprised I got that right. But anyway, you know what I mean? It's like if people realize comic books are just, and indie comics are great too. They're neither Marvel or DC, and a lot of them are amazing stories. They gotta just, people, open your mind.
Yes. Oh boy, you triggered this is my husband. You triggered him. No, nice. He says no, Packers only.
I love all sports teams because I don't really watch it like I used to. So go all of them.
Yeah, go sports team.
Go all sports teams everywhere.
Curly makes a good point. She says DC and Marvel share a lot of writers anyways. Like, for real. And they're always cribbing off of each other. Like, come on now. Let's not pretend that one or the other is so different that you can't love them both.
No.
And Ryan says hello. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, I know that guy. Hey, what's up, Ryan? How you doing, brother?
Thank you, Ryan, for making this connection.
No, I'd stop dancing with him. He steps on my feet all the time.
The Joker is a terrible dancer.
But he makes up as he goes. He could do great TikToks, I'm sure. The Joker would probably be like one of the biggest TikTok dancers ever.
He would be. Also, his TikToks would probably be super gory and disturbing and hint at his crimes.
There'll be a lot of the eyes in the middle there, Yeah, true. Well, maybe in a multiverse is a Joker that just dances, and he's married to Harley Quinn, and he's not abusing her, and she's happy. You
know what? There probably is. I would love to read those stories.
There you go.
Maybe I'd actually. There you go.
So I'm gonna write it. I'll draw it.
Yes.
There you go.
Dream team. DC, hire us. She's like, no one wants to read that.
You know what? You never know. I've read all types of comics, and some of them I'm like, wow, I really find this interesting. That's why I love comic books. I like television shows,
I feel like the Joker is a good guy in the Justice Lord, so there's room there.
There you go.
In the Justice Lord's universe. I like Ryan. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds, Kelly. All right, so Ryan wants to know your favorite Batman movie and comic and why.
Wow. So we'll do the first. My favorite Batman movie. That's tough. It's a toss-up between the Mask of the Phantasm, the animated series Batman. We talked about that, and I would say Dark Knight, the one with you know what? Scratch that. I'm about to say my favorite. My brain just went. My favorite Batman movie would probably be The Dark Knight Returns, with the based on the Frank Miller comic. DC does the animated features. I love that movie. Oh my god! And it's voiced by the guy that did RoboCop, and it has like this 80s feel. So yeah, you know what? I love the other two very much, but if there's one, like, if you were like just pop it in, I think I would probably put in that one. There's something brutal about it. I love the comic and the tunnel of love scene between him and Joker.
Oh, that was so well done and very just visceral, I think is the best word for it.
And believe it or not, my favorite Batman comic would be a Justice League comic called The Tower of Babel.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, if you got 20 minutes. Long story, I think it was, I don't know who wrote it. I think it was, I'm trying to remember the writer and the artist. It slipped me for a minute. I see it in my head. But anyway, back in the 90s, Grant Morrison started the Justice League. Maybe Grant Morrison wrote it, but I'm not sure. Started like the Justice League, like Batman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Flash, Wonder Woman, all them, like the main ones you see in the cartoon. He started that. And halfway through, like maybe issue 9 or something, there was a story called Tower of Babel. So this starts out with Batman's Batcave being someone broke in and stole some stuff. So what ends up being was all the information that Batman had on his co-workers, how to take them out, if not kill them, but like the thing I like about Dark Knight Returns, when Batman like breaks the guy's leg and he's like, don't worry, you're young, you'll heal. You know what I mean? Like Batman will hurt somebody to a point they probably wish they're dead. So in Babel kind of proved that. So long story short, should I spill it or should I?
Maybe don't spoil it, but I know exactly what story you're talking about.
So she knows. So anyway, long story short, Batman, all that information that was stolen, not gonna say who took it, they end up using it against Batman's friends and ends up almost killing them all. So it was about a couple issues. I have to admit, when I read that story, and you know what that story shows too? How human Batman is, that he's not trusting. Like he has people in his life that he could, like Superman, he could trust. Wonder Woman, he could trust. Like they're really like godlike in a way, right? But he just, thank you, Mark Waid.
Mark Waid writes like every story I love. I mean, okay, not everyone, but so many stories I love where I'm like trying to think to myself, looking back, I'm like, who wrote this? Oh yeah, Mark Waid.
Mark Waid, yeah.
I got to interview him.
Oh, really?
A little over a year ago on my friend Tyler's show. That's
awesome. How was he?
Oh, he's so nice. Yeah. So my friend Tyler's show, the Krypton Report. Mm-hmm. Tyler let me join in, and oh my gosh.
Wow, that's awesome.
Welcome. Wild Andrea has appeared. You look gorgeous.
This was really, really fast. Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
Dinner with my family.
She was stealing time. She just, got back from stealing from Gotham.
Gotham, so. It's been a day, guys. So, but I'm here.
I feel you.
So, yes.
But yeah, like I was saying,
let's interrupt your stream. There you go.
Stories that take Batman to that place where he isn't perfect. I think that's what the best thing is. And it shows that humanity, because I like the character for that reason, that he messes up quite often. A lot of people don't like when I say that, but it's true.
Yes.
He's very flawed.
Extremely. I hate stories that act like Batman is perfect and infallible on people who are like, oh, well, with enough prep time, Batman could be this and this and this character. Quite possibly, yes, but that's not what makes Batman great. What makes Batman great is that he is human.
Yeah.
He does make mistakes. He's also brilliant, but brilliant men kind of, their mistakes are almost larger because they're brilliant.
They're magnified.
Yes, that's the word. Yeah, like
and
the Tower
that's what a lot of people like. I've made it known I'm not as big a DC reader. I grew up with a dad who loved Superman, but
nice.
The thing, I grew up on a lot of the old school Batman stories, though, and he is so much more human than all your other heroes, especially in the DC world. Your perfection was Superman. He's this godlike character, but Batman he's got a temper, he's flawed, he's human. And I think that's, even though some people, they like the dark brooding side, they attach to him because he's more human.
Yeah. I definitely did, 100%. It's like I love the character, but I don't want to be the character because he seems like he's still stuck in his trauma. And he's stubborn. He doesn't accept when he's wrong. It has to take a lot for him to say what's on his heart, You know, like I love the story with him and Catwoman, though. The one they almost got married. Did you guys read that? By Tom King. That was pretty good. It shows where Batman does have this love for her, and Batman does have love for Dick Grayson. He loves him like his son, and Damian. But it takes a lot. Almost Batman's kind of like almost 90% of dads out there. Yeah, I'm talking to you, dads out there. You know, like it takes a lot for them to be like, "I love you," you know. So,
but he shows his love when you're looking for it. Like you can tell he loves all his kids, adopted, and his one blood child.
Yeah,
he only has one biological child as of this point in canon, unless you count Helena Wayne.
True.
Silver Age.
Yeah.
Which she, crossed over from Earth to a whole thing. Sorry. I'm nerding out.
Comic books in general?
Yes. Which comic books are soap operas. Soap operas with characters.
And that's why we read them. Been reading them since I was 16. I haven't stopped. I'm 42
That's why
now.
they're so interesting, because like they keep cycling through the same themes and the characters are the same, but they keep remixing them, but the themes are very human.
Yeah. And if you do like a story that someone's seen before, but you put a different spin on it. Don't get me wrong, there's some comic books that are just boring because it is the same. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
So they have to do something. So it makes the artist, the writer, having to do something more imaginative by using those same archetypes. And sometimes they pull it off. I mean, I could say recently there haven't really been, other than the City of Bane storyline, where the marriage of Batman and Catwoman was one of the last stories that I really remember. The rest of them, they're okay. As of now, there hasn't really been any big, impactful ones that I can really think of top of my head. So I'm sure there'll be more,
Yeah. And Ryan is excited to see you. He says, Andrea, you're here. Woohoo! And then he says, Andrea's Catwoman, I presume. Yes, she is.
I just thought of something.
If I could have found, I really wanted to find a sparkly suit because I grew up on the Adam West Batman show, and I always loved Julie Newmar and Eartha Kitt playing Catwoman. That is the Catwoman I remember growing up. So I'm like, I wanted to homage my two favorite vintage Catwoman actresses. So,
you know what? You're doing good even without the sparkles.
Looks good.
Look, I'm lucky I'm here after this. Who am I kidding? The last 2 weeks I've had, but today has been wild. So
I hope it gets better.
I'm sorry.
I've dealt with insurance adjusters and things today because I had a water pipe burst on Christmas Day and it's still not working.
Oh, fun.
Thank God I have an awesome neighbor that's letting me use their shower and their washing machine.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
God bless you, neighbor.
Yes. What would I do without awesome neighbors? So it's been fun, guys. But I'm here.
You're here.
I'm here with the lovely guys. Got a little warm. They're rushing to get ready.
Oh.
So there's no shoes on, the gloves I couldn't hunt down. So I'm just like, look.
Catwoman filling out.
Catwoman got home. Catwoman got home and she got comfy.
That's it.
That is fair.
Considering all the cats I have, I am technically a cat woman.
You are.
Maybe one will pop up.
The door's closed because if not, literally, our viewers just get cat butt right.
Oh,
I do love our kitty co-stars, so when they do that.
Yeah, Hermes especially would be very pushy, but here we are. You just get the cat woman instead of the cats.
Fair.
Yes.
So Eli, why don't you talk a little bit about your charity work and how you tie that in with your cosplay stuff?
Wow. I think it also probably starts with Matt too. Well, me and my brother, with the cosplay, me and my brother, all four of us, but especially me and Matt, we always did like stuff for kids, did reading, the Dr. Seuss stuff, and we would go to different events, and I'd always draw. Even tomorrow we got an event at the comic shop.
Oh.
I'm going to dress as this, so the costumes, I'm warming up the costume for all day tomorrow. Caricatures, of the families and stuff. But I think the first time I wore it was probably because my brother told me, "Hey, he's a cop, right? He's a police officer. Now he's a sergeant." So he's like, "What's cooler than Gotham PD or JCPD and Batman?" So we go to the schools, and I would go over there, and we'll read to the kids and stuff. And a lot of the kids like, oh, they're like, oh, you know, it's pretty cool. And I haven't stopped since then. I would say maybe 9 years ago, we started doing it hardcore, and we haven't really stopped. And and the Batman costume's cool. Even like, oh my gosh, I got two interesting stories. One, I won't go into detail, but I was on the train dressed as this, going to New York Comic Con, and this lady was talking to me, and honestly, she told me like really heartbreaking stuff. Like first, she's talking to me, "Oh, I love your costume, and my son loves Batman," so we're just talking normal. And they start telling me crazy stuff, and I thought about it. I'm like, wow, it's like, was it because of me, or because like maybe the costume, she didn't really see the person and felt comfortable? Wherever she is, I hope things got better. This is years ago. We're talking when I had the old costume, and the old cowl. And the funny story was, I was just walking around the park. I used to get dressed up for fun, just like randomly be Batman, walk around Jersey City. I even drove. I even drove the back of the fire truck like this. I forgot to show you that picture, but one day I was with a friend of mine. She's a photographer. They were taking pictures. It was like 2013 maybe, of the some of the families in the park. She'd ask them and give them her card or whatever. And at one point I feel this tug on my cape, and I look down. There's a little girl. She's like about maybe 4, and she looks up at me and she's like, "Batman." I'm like, "Yes, sweetheart." She's like, "I can't find my daddy." And I was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, where was he?" She's like, so we're looking for the father. She's holding my hand the whole time. Thank goodness there's a police station a couple blocks down. So I'm looking, I can't find the guy. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take you to the police station, and hopefully they'll help you. Thank God I hear someone, hey, hi, and she's like, "Dad," and she runs to him. And I was like, honestly, thinking about it now, I should have been like, "Where were you?" But I couldn't put the fear of Batman in him. But I was just happy the little girl found her dad, and I hope you're being a better parent.
Or else Batman's going to show up and terrorize you.
Right.
I've seen like the picture of like some little kid with like the Flash and Wonder Woman that was taken at a con, and it was saying that he lost his parents and he was always told to find an adult you trust, and he saw these superheroes and asked them to help find his parents. And that's the thing, is I think kids see that and they automatically go, well, that's a superhero. That person's gonna help me.
And and even the kids that know it's a costume, you have 3 types of kids. You have that, you have the one knows the costume, but still they want to kind of like interact, like they know you're someone else. And you have the little jokes, the last 3, like, "You're not Batman." I'm like,
yeah,
come here. He's a comic book character, right? So he was never real. And he's like,
yeah, this isn't real. And you're like, you're killing it for the other kids.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm a little like, I hit him with reality. I'm like, dude, every character you've ever watched on TV is an actor.
And it's always like some cynical like 10 or 11-year-old that's I'm too old to believe in Santa, so I can't believe in superheroes either.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Well, I encountered kids like that, but it was when I was Wonder Woman, and they were in that kind of 8 to 11-year-old age range, but they were also inner city, so not prone to trusting adults, not prone to seeing a lot of magic in their life. So I kind of thought that maybe that's why, like, they didn't have reason to believe in superheroes, which is sad. Yeah. So I did my best to like kind of answer their questions without like breaking character. It was hard though. And also I walked away from that event feeling kind of sad, and normally I walk away from events feeling happy, uplifted, and I just felt sad and like kind of beaten down. But yeah.
See, that's kind of like why one of my friends that runs a local nonprofit here, the Heal the Hood Foundation, and they work with Morpheus Way, that you've done some interviews and stuff with, who's an artist.
Yes.
And they created a superhero for the city of Memphis called Wake. And he deals with a lot of the inner city kids. He's a black superhero. I actually got to make the costume for them to be able to wear to school events, because they go to a lot of middle schools and elementary schools trying to promote, just because people tell you you're in the hood, you don't have to be that. And so they've got a superhero suit that they can take and wear. And so I like that, because they're trying to remind kids that you're not your circumstances all the time.
That's it. That's it.
And you can be more than what people tell you are because of where you're from.
Yeah.
And I absolutely adore that. And I was very honored when they asked me to make their hero suit. So that was pretty cool.
That's really cool. That's an honor.
Yeah, it's a big one, because it's going to be shown to a lot of kids, and you know how critical kids can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
They will tear you apart.
It takes a lot of patience. Like I teach inner city youth too, and in the beginning it's like but then after a while, when they know you're not going to leave, and they know they trust you, and they see that you're being sincere, and a lot of it too with my teaching. I don't teach as Batman all the time, but I realized when I start sharing my stories of what I went through in my childhood, or went through with my parents. Who weren't evil supervillains. They were like, they could be goons sometimes though. But but these kids that don't have that, when they see that in you and they know you're authentic, you kind of chip away slowly, and that's what you have to have a lot of patience. So I commend you both, especially Kelly.
Oh, thanks.
To go over there and try, and hey, you never know. Try again. Maybe they got to get to know the Kelly.
And that's
woman.
That's what they say. Like with the Heal the Hood, they're like, we're not going to get every one of them, but if we get those ones and twos, then maybe those will, help the next person, and then the next person, and it'll snowball. Because one of the reasons Liddell started what he did was he had been mentoring, and then a young man that he mentored was trying to get in touch with him, couldn't find him. And then when he found out this young man was trying to get in touch with him, he had been murdered.
Oh,
and
my God.
Liddell almost blamed himself for not being able to get in touch with that kid. And he's like, I don't want that to happen again. He's like, I don't want to know that another kid I was mentoring is gone. And so that's why he's created a very safe space for these kids to go in one of our old malls that's not a mall anymore. They have an office. Kids can come there. They have summer camps and everything. He's like, I'm not letting that happen again. And, he's one of those, once you meet him and get to know him, it's the genuine, true, one of the biggest hearts in the world. And when I started doing some work with him, and I was like, this is my home. I want to help this city. I want to remind people that Memphis is not just, the ghetto hood that everybody thinks it is. Yeah. And I tell him, I'm like, you call me, I'm there if I can be there. And because I truly believe in what they're trying to do. And to see the other people that believe in it too. And more and more you're seeing the people that were always kind of the picked on nerds like we were, now being the ones that kids are looking up to is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool, because we, being those nerds, we had heart, because I realized everything I loved always said something about me, so it's like, now it's funny, I was telling Kelly before we started the show that when I realized that comic books and movies and certain video games, anything entertainment, I can use that to educate, because in a way it was like my hero's journey. Like I was telling her too, like people in my life came and gone or died on me or whatever. There was one thing about not letting go of what I loved. Like even the Firehouse, I got gargoyles in my office, and Batman and Bugs Bunny and stuff like that, because there was something about those characters that when I go to Comic-Cons, I try to, when I talk to the actors, the voice actors, I always give them a gift, because they were part of saving my life in a way.
Yeah.
And in a way, them doing their job helped me stay okay in the head.
As okay as we can be.
Okay we could be. But there was something that gravitated when it comes to pop culture that at the time, I don't know so much about now, but back then when it was so you were beat up for it. I was a scrawny little kid. I got my, you know what, handed to me a lot. And then I got older, I just got crap talked behind my back. But but not bigger. But at the same time, like those stories, even when I start with that story, when I talk to the kids, when I start with that yes, once upon a time, this 235-pound, 6 foot tall guy wearing a Bugs Bunny shirt was once upon a time a kid that got beat up because of wearing a Bugs Bunny shirt.
Yeah.
It's like I know what it's like. I remember what it's like, and I could bring that to my classes and the kids I teach, whether it be one or many, and they listen as much as they seem like they're saying, you know what, to the world. And God bless your friend for what he does. Like, he's a superhero. I should be wearing his face right now.
That's what I always tell him. When I'm dressed up, it's like, man, mine's just a costume, but yours is who you are. Yeah. Yes, I do. I volunteer. I work with all the charities, and I love it. But he literally every single day that he goes to work, that's what he does. So he is living it, and the world needs more heroes like him. And that's what I tell him all the time. I'm like, you're the hero the city needs. Yes, you created a comic book, but you are truly the hero behind all of that. And it feels almost cheesy and cliche to say, but it's true. And some people don't see it that way, but those are the people that aren't trying to help make a difference. They're not out there doing their thing to help better the world.
Because the reason why they like that is they're not happy and they're not at peace. When you're happy and you're at peace, you embrace who you are. And he's a hero, he's a superhero, but we're all heroes in our own way. You do your thing, Kelly does hers, she's got her kids. We are trying to be better people every day. That's what makes a hero. And
that's all that it takes.
Being just a better person we were yesterday and trying to learn from others' mistakes and our own and playing it forward for others. That's what really being a hero is. Think about it. Like Batman's a guy dressed up as a bat. That's cheesy. But at the end of the day, the stories that make them human, that's what makes them relatable. So we're just human beings. We're just not wearing costumes. We're those characters.
The heroes are running around basically in really tight jammies, onesies, and saving the world. We might not be saving it on a global scale, but we're still doing our part to try in some way to save at least. Like I said, if you touch that one person,
and that means might save the world. Maybe not in jammies, but they
might become a politician that creates better laws and saves people's lives. And don't force your opinions on people, but you help actively change the world someday.
And on that note, we are halfway through the show. So first of all, I want to say this hello, beautiful people comment. I know this is Keisha. Hello, Keisha. We love you.
Hi, Keisha.
And Derek almost missed it because he's playing Elden Ring. Derek, we're glad you're here. And he's double checking that it's Ivy, the cat in the bed. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes. Did you see Crayleigh's comment a little while ago about the kitties?
Oh, yes.
There it goes.
Yep. Hermes is personally so pushy because he misses her.
My cat loves Crayleigh, and I've made that comment many times when we've had chats, not during the show, but off when I have the speaker on. My cats have come up and curled up next to the computer or the iPad and gone to sleep listening to Kelly and Crayleigh because they love them.
And we love your cats. And now it's time for the cosplay catwalk. So basically, Eli, I don't know how much room you have to stand up and show off your costume. And I won't make you go first.
We never make the guests go first.
No.
I said, I always tell people I'm mean, but I'm not cruel.
Yes. But basically, we try to stand up, show off the costume a little bit, and I sing a cappella badly.
It's one of the many things that make us lovable.
It's part of our charm. So I will go first.
It is.
I'm going to see how much of this dress I can show off. This is my
I love
Prison Ivy by way of Jessica Rabbit. So
I love this.
So I'm too sexy for my cosplay. Got a split.
Ooh, that's quite the split, honey. Do we need to put an advisory on that split there?
Yes, we
Just a
do.
little bit.
That makes
This
me
was
think
a
of the
little more
time that
adult.
we had the ice cream queens on, and YouTube didn't like my first image because of one of their cleavages.
Yeah.
Yes, her cleavage is a no fly zone for YouTube.
Wow, I'm staying quiet on that one. That's amazing, though.
It was hilarious. We all thought it was funny. She was wearing clothes.
Yes, fully clothed. Fully clothed.
But YouTube flagged it. So I had to make
Yeah.
a whole new picture with a different costume.
Because they're like, yeah, no.
Image.
You know what it is? Somebody got jealous. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube was like, I wish. It was YouTube, all of YouTube.
All right, Andrea, do you want to go next, and then we'll let Eli show off his bat suit?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm pretty simple. It's a black suit.
Andrea is too sexy for her cat suit. She's too sexy for her cosplay. I really love that belt. So
thank you.
Me.
You want to know really? Weirdly enough, this is the belt I bought to wear with the dress I wore to my father's funeral. So. No, but I love this belt. Dad always was like, I don't get why you like those chain belts, but I was like, Dad, I'm getting you.
No.
Once again, Dad would have loved it. He would have thought it was hilarious because my dad was that kind of person. So I've talked about him many a time and his very weird, messed up sense of humor. But yeah,
and he loved your cosplay, so I think he was that you're getting.
Oh no, like I said, Dad was at his funeral because he was cremated afterwards. He had on a Western shirt, button opened with the Superman t-shirt underneath because that was my dad. He was like, don't bury me in a suit. He's like, no. He was Superman.
Thanks for sharing, Johnny. This is our network head.
Hello, Mr. Johnny.
Pika.
What's up, brother? I'm sorry.
The Johnny Quinn over there.
Yes. All right, Eli, go show us what you got.
Show us what you can, bro.
What I can. All right. Thank goodness I wore pants.
Eli is too sexy.
I got the belt. I got the painted on abs.
Yes.
I need some of those.
Me too. So
and I don't got legs like her, but there you go.
See, he wore pants. We're not going to get flagged on YouTube.
I'll keep my cleavage to myself.
Well, we appreciate that.
I love the belt though, because I love superhero belts because there's so many pouches and they're on like I get it with Batman. Batman has gadgets.
Yeah.
But the people with like superpowers that don't ever pop those pouches open for anything. Why?
You guys
is that where their wallet and keys are? So when they go home,
I blame Liefeld.
It's 100% his fault.
You want to know how long I had this belt? This is a Korean like war belt, right? It's like I got an Army Navy store. Yeah. I was able to fit an iPhone in this.
Wow.
A long time ago. Now my iPhone or a phone in general will not fit in these things.
So like what version of iPhone was that?
Had to be 3. Maybe.
when the phones were shrinking to the point you're like, I'm going to lose this because it's going to fall down a crack.
They can't. And then all of a sudden we were all like, nope, you can't text on this.
No, see, because all the people making the phones were getting older and they were getting blinder. So they needed big phones again.
I agree. I'm one of the guilty ones.
I find it fun being the mid-range age of the world right now. I can't see. I need to go to bed. Everything hurts. That's why all superheroes are young. They're like, because they're the older they get, they're like, I'm not dealing with this back pain and fighting crime. I'm done. Like, no. Like, my knees are popping.
Oh.
I loved that moment in the Justice League movie, even though, I have opinions on the movie and they're not all good, but there was that moment where Bruce Wayne is like really hurting and I think he says something like about being too old for this, and Diana just looks at him like, I'm not gonna say anything
like,
about that because I forget exactly what he said, but
yeah, I like the immortal characters looking at like the 40-year-old hero that's like, all right, I'm getting too old for this, and they're like, suck it up, Buttercup. Like,
I'm in
I mean, I
mourning.
cannot show that comment. We're gonna get hit with bots.
I read it.
Yeah, you all can read the comment, but no, we're gonna get hit with bots if we say the P word.
Yeah.
Just don't say it in
Nope.
the fake horn.
Okay. Instead, I'm gonna show Eli's pictures. And Eli, if
Yes.
you just want to talk about pictures.
Slideshow, like in the 80s. Oh, this was a good one. This was my brother doing his. Now, Darth Maul's Matt. That's my brother Matt. And the green, I guess he was one of Jabba's slaves. I guess she didn't die in the Rancor pit, but became a Jedi.
Ooh-la.
But or she became Darth Maul's mate. That's Tiffany. That's Matt's wifey. The other guy's Officer Carlos, and you can see Obi-Wan Kenobi over there. I was on vacation, so I grew a little beard, but as much as I can, because if I don't, it starts eating my. If I don't shave, the hair will eat my face. But this was at a Halloween event, so
Nice.
it was good. Oh, this was actually this summer. I was drawing for all the summer school, from schools from around the Heights to areas where we were talking about a few minutes ago. It was fun. I had 100 and something kids that day.
Wow.
Don't know how I kept their, as I say, it's a gift from God. I don't know how I kept their attention and how they weren't all trying to like fight each other, but it was nice. I got blessed by the school to do that.
Good. All right.
Wow, you could tell how much younger I look. This is when me and my brother Matthew became a police officer. I was a fireman for about a year. This is one of my favorite pictures, maybe spanning 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I feel old.
You and me both, honey.
We all have that feeling, man. I'll be 40 in a little over a month, so.
You know what? It's a blessing, though, right? I tell people that, and
We're still around.
I don't want to get dark, but there was some. I'm grateful to be old because there's somebody younger than me that didn't wake up this morning.
That's
so
very true.
I put that in perspective, and I'm like, I'm not complaining.
true.
This one I did. This Urban Arts is where actually I came from this afternoon when I got back from work. It's a school I've been working at for about 10 years. It's in Hoboken, New Jersey. And I did that painting. That took 2 months to do. That was a fun painting. It's behind me. I don't sell it for nothing. Like, no, I'm not going to sell it. Somebody said $750. I'm like, no. So yeah, that's my favorite painting of all time. This was maybe 5 years ago, maybe.
I like Ryan. Age is just a number of facts. I mean, that's
Facts.
It is.
Yeah.
But your body some days feels older.
I was gonna say, tell that to my back.
Oh, this wasn't what I was telling you about. This was the first year I cosplayed.
I love it.
Me and that's Matt again. Matt is Deadpool.
He looks.
Yes.
He makes a good Deadpool.
Yeah.
I would vote for Deadpool for president. Just saying.
Yep. Then I had my Nikes when I was smoking. Look at that. Batman's wearing Nikes. It went fun. People were taking photos. I was at the end of the con. You see how my cape and my body's all disheveled.
Yep, the end of the con feel.
The con walk of shame.
This was actually when I first wore the costume too. This was we went to San Diego Comic-Con, Matt and Tiff again, and Matt talked me into doing the and actually that year he became a police officer. I was able to fly him in. We were all supposed to go on vacation. Yes, I was a third wheel. And he ended up getting called for the academy, and I was able to fly him in for one day on a Saturday because I was still working at the airport at that time. Nice. So yes, that was those my first photo probably in cosplay with them.
Nice.
And she's Catwoman from the 60s too.
Yeah.
Best version.
Yeah.
Is that his wife?
And he's Riddler from the 60s.
Is that his wife?
No. Yes.
Oh, what a cute couple.
You see that baby, he's adorable. So this was me standing in front of a couple blocks away. It was at a Beacon event. Beacon Avenue is where we live, and they used to have block parties once a year in the summer. So they called Matt to come down. That was one of Matt's maybe his second year. And he came down with the car, and I took photos in the car and in front of the car, you know. So yeah, nice. Most of the cops know me as Batman down here anyway. At this point, yeah, I'm like the unofficial Jersey City Batman.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Hey, I moved.
All right.
So we could see you while you were talking about your pictures. You moved on the screen.
I didn't realize
I
that.
moved you
That's
so
tired.
people could see your at least half of your face instead of you being completely covered. Yep. Magic. We have a lot of viewer submissions, so I'm gonna run through those kind of quickly. I'm gonna do a speed run. So this is my
probably
friend.
our second most submissions we've ever had.
Yeah, thank you all. These are awesome.
That's
This is my
indeed.
friend. This is so cute. This is my friend Anna's homemade costume for her son Sam. It's so cute.
He's a bat.
I know.
We had to.
Johnny Quinn. Johnny Quinn. This is John Pica, who commented earlier. He rocking this. Look,
I like it.
Honey Blossom cosplay.
This is a couple of their Honey Blossom and a few of their friends. I didn't have usernames for them, but all amazing.
Yes.
Love it.
And
that's so cool.
I know. These are my friends, Charlie and Wes. And Wes is, I think, Green Arrow, or he's Ollie cosplayer on Instagram, and Charlie is St. Louis Superman.
I can update that later on when we have all the names.
And this is the Renfro family. So Kristen and Yuri, I do not know their Instagram information. I did ask them for it, but they didn't get it in time. So if I get it, Andrew, I'll get that to you. But their kids are so cute. I've been watching them grow up over the past several years, and they're adorable.
I love families cosplaying together. Makes me so happy.
This is also Charlie rocking his Nightwing. He's one of my favorite Nightwings.
I love the arch, the St. Louis arch in the back, since he is the St. Louis Superman. That's perfect. And Heidi. Heidi is Harley. Yes. Like, she even does the voice, and when she goes to cons, she carries a plush hyena with her, and it is precious. Like, she is amazing. Heidi is one of the she volunteers with me too, so she's also a big heart, and I love her to death.
Yes. Another hero.
Yes, very much so.
And this is DL Memphis, one of the ice cream queens, not the one that got us flagged. But DL is
she's done quite a few.
Talented. I am a fan of everything. Lauren, the penguin in the bottom picture, that's the one who got us flagged.
They're both very curvy, vivacious ladies.
They are gorgeous. They are just bombshells. Like, we love them.
Inside
we love us some ice cream queens, okay?
We do. I tell DL all the time I want to be her when I grow up.
Same.
So
same. This is my friend Brendan, Gingy Weeb Met Cosplay. He is
talent.
Yes. So the upper left is his version 1 of his talent, and then the rest of the pictures are his upgrades that he's working on. Because he and I are coordinating on a big Gotham shoot for for April to celebrate my 15-year anniversary of cosplay. I wanted to do a huge, ambitious shoot, and Brendan is helping me make that happen because he's awesome. And we're shooting in some of the locations where they filmed the Nolanverse Bat films in Chicago. So I'm hyped.
That's awesome.
I'm so hyped. And I'm going to be Black Canary because that's where I got my start cosplaying, and that's my favorite character.
And you are amazing as Black Canary.
Oh, thank you. This is more of Wes and Charlie. So Ellie cosplayer and St. Louis Superman. And I actually made that cape for Wes, and getting it to do that he's doing, a lot of tears. And no, I will never do that again, ever. We
Dang, I was about to ask you.
It took me a long time to figure it out. We had to mutilate a kid's tent that we were no longer using to do it.
Huh.
It was stressful. Maybe someday. Maybe I'll consider it. Maybe someday. This is our friend Becky, who was on our anime episode. I am in love with her huntresses.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
She's fantastic.
Yes. This is Mark and Ruby of T-shirt cosplay and their daughter Andrea.
That's awesome.
They are awesome. And there's a little bit of my Huntress in there too. So I snuck into these pictures.
Sneaky, sneaky. And
This is
Crayley,
our other host,
Right.
rocking her Black Canary. And this is my friend Bob Mask, who is Bat Bob Mask on Instagram. He is fantastic as both
Wow.
Batman and
I love that the last name is Mask and he's cosplaying characters with the mask.
Right.
I don't know. It's just it's something cheesy and stupid to love, but I love it.
Oh, I love it too. Like it was meant to be. He was born to be a cosplayer. And he's also just the nicest, most positive person you could ever meet. And I adore him. Okay. Oh, here's the Rent Pros again. They snuck in.
It's not.
All right. Here is Greg, who was a few episodes back as well. Greg the Barber 9. He's just rocking all of these looks.
Fantastic.
Robin Burks. This is my friend Doug. I don't think he is on Instagram. So, but he is Robin. Doug.
He is a fantastic Robin.
He's my Robin. He's the Robin to my Batgirl. Like the charity group we were in together is no longer active, unfortunately. But yeah, we did a bunch of charity events together, and
Wow.
And this is Sarah, Sapphire Art.
It just looks amazing in every single costume she ever puts on.
Right.
And also, she's in my volunteer group as well. And so another big-hearted person.
Yeah.
We know so many amazing, nice volunteer cosplayers.
Yes, we do.
And Sarah's also a talented
correct.
author.
That's actually my Black Canary costume on her body. So her first costume. That was actually the weekend that Crayley and I bonded. And the first weekend we spent a lot of time together where I was planning a Birds of Prey group shoot and Crayley was going to be in it. I was like, here, I'll just
have a costume.
lend you a costume. Here, pick a costume from my trunk.
That's what friends are for, man.
Cool.
James Fike. He doesn't have his Instagram anymore. The Bluff City Batman. He even has the Keaton Batmobile. Guys,
Wow.
He drives that. He's one of the founding members of the volunteer group I'm in. He's on the board of directors with me. James also works in law enforcement. So a lot of
maybe why he stopped using Instagram.
I don't know. He had it for a long time because he's known around the city. Like the city knows him because he and Jerry Lawler, the wrestler Jerry Lawler, he has the Adam West Batmobile, and they bring them to conventions locally together. So we'll have two different Batmobiles around a lot. But James, I love. He does the Batman voice, and he's fantastic. James was on our show. He was one of our very first guests way back in 2021.
Yep, he was guest on for our Fairy Tale Villains. Gender Veiled cosplay. This Batgirl is amazing.
Yes, this is my friend Bree. She is fantastic. She's also good friends with our other friend Sierra. So Bree does several, but this is the one that she sent in. She does several DC characters.
This is a really good Batgirl.
Yeah.
Like
Very good.
I'm in awe. All right.
Okay, the dog has its own Instagram. That's the one on the bottom. The dog is well known around Memphis, y'all. But I love them being in a cage together there. That's actually the Mandalorian Merc's cage that they'll arrest you and hold you in it for money to raise money for charity. So.
I love that. And then we have Ryan Jones.
Yes, he posted in one of the local cosplay groups when I asked for submissions, and the Scarecrow terrifies me, and I think he did a really good job at it.
He's a really freaky Scarecrow. I love it. Holly
Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. Her Nightwing gets so much love, and she hasn't even won it to a con. I don't think. I think she needs to do that.
Yeah, I need to get pictures of her Nightwing with my Batgirl. Like, to happen, Hunter. It needs to happen.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes, Kenneth, Heroes of Lotus Night.
Amazing.
Yes, that mask is. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Yep. That's not something you want to see in the dark alley. These are 3 different cosplayers. They submitted pictures all together, so
Awesome.
And the funny one, the one on the bottom left, they actually all showed up to a con separately in matching costumes. They didn't plan it. It was not planned. That's just how it happened. I was at that con.
Oh, that's awesome.
And these are my friends, Joe and Gina, Art of the Tin Man and Venerable Cosplay. They are incredible. Wow. They are going to be Batman, at least one of the Batman and Catwoman's for my shoot. And look at them. Look at them.
Wow.
They're awesome.
Stepped off the pages.
Love you, cosplay. If you all do not listen to, I can't even, SH cosplayers say, if you all don't listen to their podcast, I don't know what you're doing with your lives, because they're amazing. We love them.
And beautiful costumes.
Yeah, look at their Harley and Ivy. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then this is my friend Brandon, not to be confused with Brendan, B. Weebly, and his Batman is incredible. And yeah, so that is everyone. I think. Did I miss anyone?
I think so. I don't think so, but yeah, this was literally the second most submissions we've had, only behind our ageism episode. We had like 50 for that one, and we had 29 for this one. So you guys rocked. And could you imagine if we would have been a full expansive DC? Like, we just did Gotham.
Wow.
I don't think we're allowed to do just a DC episode. Because
we haven't done any like DC or we haven't done strictly DC or strictly Marvel yet, because I think we would need an hour just to show the pictures.
Yeah. So we did do Marvel Ladies, and I'm actually surprised that didn't.
We had quite a few for that one, but surprisingly we didn't like break the numbers with it. But yeah, no. I think also Batman has been around for so long, and because it's been in so many iterations, not just comic, not just movie, it's more ingrained in the pop culture mentality.
Yes.
And because the characters are so easily recognizable, I think that's one of the reasons a lot of cosplayers, especially newer cosplayers, gravitate towards them, because they can put on a simpler suit and people go, that's Batman, that's Robin, that's Catwoman, that's the Joker. Why did Chris Jowers not send us his Joker? I'm gonna have to get him, because Jowers is one of those.
He's out of the state for training.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're shaming you, Chris.
He is the Joker. Like, he's learned to do an amalgamation of all the voices, especially the Mark Hamill.
That's awesome.
But he lives the Joker when he does it. And I adore it. Like, because he plays such a good villain, but he's actually one of the sweetest people.
He is. Don't tell anyone, though.
No, but I really think that's one of the reasons this one blew up so much, is because it is like, Marvel is extremely recognizable, but DC is even more recognizable because it's had a little bit longer lifespan. And when Marvel kind of had a fade in, like, especially the late 90s, when Image Comics were coming in, you still had people that knew the Batman Adam West show, they knew the Superman movies, they knew the Batman animated series. So it's never really gone away. It's always been somewhere in the pop culture. And so it's a little more prevalent than even the stuff that's super big right now. So I think that's one of the reasons people gravitate towards it. Excuse me. And I've rambled on again. Part of my charm, I guess. I come in late and then I just ramble through the rest of the show.
Well, at least we don't have any dead air.
No, never, because I don't know how to shut up. That's the problem. I used to lose my voice as a kid. Every now and then my dad would be like, oh, it's quiet. Oh, it's like, I love you, Dad.
So, Eli, what other creative projects do you have cooking?
Oh, wow. I'm going to try to start in order. Tomorrow we have the event. It's a Three Kings event in Newark, New Jersey. We have toys, a couple hundred toys for kids. Any child shows up, gets a free toy. I'll be drawing for a couple hundred people. I got the art for it. I got the paper. It'll be good. That's tomorrow. Then the end of this month, I'm going to be doing something else. don't remember what. Oh, and there's a first ever video game con, the ShermaCon, in Sherman Theater in Stroudsburg, and they asked me to do a panel, and I'm going to be selling my artwork, my paintings and stuff, and I'm going to do the history of Donkey Kong and Mario, since like a gorilla.
My childhood.
Yeah, about the cartoons and everything. So I'm excited about that, and I'll be one of the first panelists in this first ever con. February 4th is another. It's called I Love Horror. It's actually a charity convention. All the money's going to go proceeds for lung cancer and heart disease, stuff like that. They asked me to be there. I'll be selling some horror stuff, and I guess all the proceeds go to charity. That's the first ever horror con. It's in Sayersville, New Jersey. The end of February, I got something else. Oh, the horror flea market, or the horror holiday con, which is it was cool. That's where I met the gentleman Ken Soaks from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I'm working on a storyboard project with him. He's doing a little mini movie. Working on a comic book. I'm finishing up some lettering for another gentleman I worked with. I did a movie called Ghoul a couple years ago. Many years ago. I did storyboards for that and some interior art for that film. That's when the kid from Modern Family was like this tall. That's how long ago it was. But I'm working with a good friend of mine, Greg Wilson. And then other projects and other things, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. At least I have at least 2 cons per month. Wow. On top of painting, on top of murals. I'm working on some murals in the spring and fire department, and one in the veterans bar in Kearney, New Jersey. So yeah, it's I don't like talking about. I think
you need a few more things to do. I don't think you have enough to do.
Find a way to clone myself. But I think at some point the clones are gonna fight and kill each other. Just so,
look, if I have a clone, I feel like it would end up like a multiplicity situation, which I freaking
same.
Yeah. Also, that kind of ties back, as that was Michael Keaton and he played Batman.
So yeah, that's mainly more or less the more current stuff. Look for more on my social media and all that. Yeah.
Yes.
Follow him. You will not be disappointed.
No.
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoy your little videos that you post. I haven't had time to watch as many as I would like, but everyone that I've watched, I've enjoyed.
So my TikTok content, my students were like, go on TikTok. And then 2 years ago, I did. I hurt myself at work. I busted my wrist. And I couldn't draw. I couldn't teach. TikTok saved my life. No, it didn't, but it did.
Saved your sanity a little bit.
I don't dance, though. Just saying.
Am I one of the only people that does not do TikTok?
No, there's quite a bit, but it's growing because now it's where that's the attention. Everyone's flocking to that, especially the youth.
Yeah, a lot of the cosplayers.
Youth, TikTok.
Yeah, this is as much as y'all are going to get me on camera. I'm not, I used to want to be like a Broadway actress, and I realized I have high anxiety and I don't like people watching me. So, there with that dream.
Oh, well, if you really
I'm very excited for Saturday, Ryan. Tomorrow I'm going to be on the launch of Ryan's new show.
Oh,
for that.
Fancy, Mr. Ryan.
Yep.
He's another
con tomorrow.
It is Nerdy Projects. It's debuting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So give that a little plug.
Awesome.
As Ryan says, always promote your friends.
Always promote your friends. Yes. So
thank you, brother. I will. Pray I don't pass out in this costume while I'm drawing for 500 families.
Be careful. Yeah. Hydrate.
Hydrate
often. Well, you old chum. Hydration's very important. Well,
it really is. When you're a cosplayer, hydration is more important than the costume.
You want a real funny story? The old costume, the one you saw in the old pictures, that one I was sweating like crazy and I could barely see. So Tiffany was holding my hand across in the street. So I'm like, I don't want to get hit by a car. And then I was like looking through comics like this because I don't want to sweat on them. That costume got me ready for fires. So when I became a fireman, that costume, when I got really bad fires moving forward in my career, that costume really, that in the airport, but that costume was bad. Like I'm wearing that for freaking 6 hours.
Yeah.
And it was all this plastic. So it was like, Why is Batman crying?
Yeah. Now hearing you say that, it makes sense because my brother-in-law was a firefighter for 29 years, and we have a fire museum down here in Memphis, and there's a room where you can stand and it looks like it's on fire, and then they blast the heat of a fire in
terrible.
it. And my sister and I are over there like, and he's just standing with his hands in his pockets because he's in like jeans and a t-shirt, and he's just like, it's a little warm. He's like, all right, deal with this.
He's like, I'm good. You got, what else you got?
Yeah. He's like, I'm not in full gear. This is fine. Like,
yeah.
Okay, macho heavy. Man.
That gear is heavy, and you wear the pack, 80-pound pack, and you have heavy tools because you got to smash doors down.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an interesting job. And then when it's really cold, you ever had? Well, Memphis may not get cold, but I've been in fires like with the last one was 2 degrees. It was one of those cold nights at 3 a.m. So we're fighting a fire for a good 6 hours. You could see the icicles. It's like Mr. Freeze decided to shoot all of us with his ice beam, and you can see the icicles forming on your helmet. So you have to crack them off to a point where you're at one, like, spraying the hose, that when you pop your arm, it's like breaking glass. And I think I lost some of my feeling the cold. I could go outside right now. It was maybe 50. This isn't bad, but like one day we had 20-degree weather. Went out without a shirt.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, I can. He's like, I can handle both extremes. It's fine. It's fine.
I got messed up. That fire messed me up. One kid's like, that's a superpower. I'm like, I hope so. If not, I'm gonna have a lot of trouble when I get older.
You're like, if this is not my origin story right here, right now.
No, Eli feels no pain. We're cold at least.
He's Elsa. The cold doesn't bother him.
Let it go.
They both have capes. We'll just get you a sparkly Batman cape to put on the back of it.
I want to see this matchup now very badly.
What happened?
Batman and Elsa. We want you to have an Elsa cape for your Batman suit.
I
very badly want this.
To, like, fix my hair,
Some like glittery snowflakes on the Batman cape.
Yeah.
A snowflake instead of the bat symbol. Don't let us think. It gets dangerous letting us come up with ideas.
A dangerous pastime. I know.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Come up with something. I like that movie because it really taught about how your true love's got to be the people around you and yourself. Yes. Belsa, yeah.
Belsa.
I appreciated the message in that movie, especially having 2 girls.
I loved it. I love that the true love at the end was sisterly love. Like,
yeah.
As somebody who's very close to their sister, yes, that means a lot to me.
And they're definitely close to my brothers. Yeah. Especially
my brothers, my sister, and I were 5 very, very close siblings.
5, wow.
I was that's one of the reasons I was kind of a little late. I was at dinner with my mom and my brothers and my new little nephew, and so
Did you at least get to eat?
I did. The reason we had to wait a little longer is they brought everything out but my grilled chicken sandwich. Me, the one that I had to leave.
It was late.
They brought me my fries and my side salad, but they forgot my main course.
That's so frustrating.
Wow.
I'm like, the one that needs to leave. The one
maybe it was set up that you avoided something on your way here if you weren't.
You know what? I do believe in fate and things happening for a reason. So, and my mom got to play with the grandbaby again because she's got a 3-month-old grandchild and she's losing her mind again because my sister's kids are 24 and 18. It's been a while since she had a baby. So, little baby's already been to Disney World. I haven't even been to Disney World in a long time. He's 3 months old.
Jealous of the baby.
Yeah. He went to Disney World right after Christmas.
I don't remember that.
I went to work. No, it was for his parents. It was straight up for my brother and his wife. It wasn't for him.
Fair.
Yeah. He got to go to Disney World. I went back to work the day after Christmas.
Oh my God.
All right, since we're past the time, so Eli, I'm gonna ask you the final question. The final question before we ask where to find you. So I'm gonna give you the full screen, and I'm just gonna ask you what piece of advice you would give to newer cosplayers who are starting out in the hobby.
Wow, advice. I can't say I'm a professional cosplayer, but it's any advice I'd give anyone. know who you are, embrace who you are, embrace who you look like, what you look like, embrace what you love. And when you find that that self-confidence because of that self-awareness, and you love yourself, then it'd be so easy to get dressed up and be who you want to be. And the best part is when you dress up of who you want to be, right? You're going to end up impacting lives of younger kids and people that are going to be like, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. So at the end of the day, it always comes down to self-awareness and loving yourself. And if you get that down packed, you can do anything. You can even be Batman, like me.
I love it.
Beautiful.
Thank you for that. And where can we find you?
In the Batcave.
And where is that?
You can find me I'm on everything now. I'll start with TikTok. We talked about TikTok. That's at ArtofEli. I post animation clips. I post my artwork. I post different videos, stuff that was near and dear to my heart as a child and as a teenager. And now I'm also going to do tutorials as well coming soon, like live paintings. Instagram is ArtofEli 1980. Yes, kids, I'm old. That is on Instagram. I have most of my artwork up there. Facebook, ArtofEli as well, or Eli Ramos is too. You can't miss both one pictures. That one with me drawing with the kid. The other one's me hugging my 6-month-old Finny, my nephew. Then I got Ethos of Eli, which I started up on YouTube. I've been doing like 2D hand-drawn animation. I did a dance of the Wednesday dance with different female characters from pop culture. So I did that recently, and YouTube that did pretty well. So yeah, on Twitter, I'm on ArtofEli as well. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but find me. I dare you.
And Andrea,
Most people don't go looking for Batman. Batman.
That's what the city does. They call my phone the Bat phone. Yes, Commissioner. So more like yes, Councilman, or yes, Mayor's assistant.
Mayor's assistant. It's not even the mayor.
No, I can say nothing on the computer. Off camera, Batman will talk about his city. So yeah, I think that's about it. And then if you're in Newark area, come by Fortress of Solitude, the comic shop, where I help out, even though it should be called the Batcave, but I'll talk to Jose about that. Who's also a firefighter. He's been on the job, I think 20 plus years already. Wow. So he's on his way out. Yeah. So if you have in the Jersey area, come on down, and and any of I'm working at, I forgot my schools, Urban Arts. I'm working at New City Kids. I'm working at Whatco. And I'm doing my own DCM. And also I'm doing my own classes. So if you want a comic book class, online or offline, look me up. Hit me up any social media. DM me. I'll find you. Or you'll find me. Whatever comes first. So yeah.
Busy.
I a few more things.
And I'm like, honestly, when people ask me what I do, I ain't gonna lie, my brain goes like, I'm like, how do I do it? I said, grace of God and a lot of sleep. And also too, when you're doing what you love and you know it's your purpose, you do have energy where you never found before, because it was your God-given talent, and that helps you with your purpose. And when you're giving to the world, get your rest, people. Sleep. I didn't start sleeping until years ago, but I'm just saying.
What a sleep.
And you'll be able to do more and inspire more and encourage more. And the gifts that will come, I don't even look for it, but the stuff that comes back, like even me being here, I see it as a gift. So thank you both for having me here. It comes. You just have to not be afraid, because the world is a beautiful place. As much as there's insanity, there's beauty in it too. It took me a while to realize that, and I'm grateful that I got to realize that. And that's why I try to push on. The reason why we're so lost is because we're all so afraid and angry. So fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. So as a wise man,
that was one of our last episodes.
There you go.
All right, Andrea, where can people find you?
Mostly on Instagram at Media Rice, and then any place with the Cosplay Cafe.
Yep.
And Kelly.
All right. Linktree.com/PhoenixisCosplay is the easiest place to find all my stuff, or Linktree.com/Cosplay Cafe Pod is a good place to find all the Cosplay Cafe stuff.
I gotta do that.
Yes, you need a link tree for the 1 million bajillion things you're doing.
Yeah, and speaking of that, coming up January 20th is the Multiverse Fundraiser, which is a free virtual convention and a fundraiser for the John Ritter Foundation for Aortic Health. It's a really great cause. It's free to attend, but we are raising money for that John Ritter Foundation. So the fundraiser link is open now. If you go to our website, you can donate now, and every donation enters you in our sweepstakes to win prizes. Also, social media shares enter you in our sweepstakes. So I'm going to roll the ad for that because we have a stacked guest list. We have a lot of fun panels. So the ad will describe it better than I could.
Awesome.
Please join us. Super fun. And thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Eli. Thanks to everyone who watched. You all are great.
Thank you.
We have the best.
The Multiverse Fundraiser is a virtual fandom jamboree and a charity fundraiser all rolled into one package. We're not just raising funds for a good cause. We're raising fun. Our 2023 event will be supporting the John Ritter Foundation for Aortic Health, which exists to spread awareness of aortic health and prevent unnecessary suffering through genetic research, widespread education, and radical advocacy. Our fundraiser combines celebrity panels, fandom-based panels, indie creators, and all of the fun of a virtual con for free. There's a little something for everyone while we support a cause close to our heart. Join us on January 20th through 22nd, along with celebrity guests Amy Yazbek, Jason Bear, Chris Gaucher, Victor Garber, William Catt, Cress Williams, Beth Broderick, Armin Shimmerman, Guy Gilchrist, Carrie Schaefer, Brian Hull, Amy Carrero, Jennifer Cody, and Joyce DeWitt.
Cosplay Cafe is sponsored by wadcosplay.com, which is your one-stop shop for quality costumes and cosplay supplies. So click on the link in our show notes to get a 20% off discount. Or not, if you hate saving money. I don't know you. I don't know your life. Clicking on the link does help support our show. So you know what? Just do the thing. Do the thing.